my world was forever changed.
This is our destiny.
I want them back.
After a catastrophic nuclear disaster, the Earth's surface has been reduced to a desolate wasteland. Once fertile lands have turned into barren deserts, making fresh water and fuel the most precious resources in this bleak post-apocalyptic world. The story begins with a young Furiosa and her friend picking apples in a rare, fertile area. Their peaceful task is interrupted when they stumble upon a scouting party from the infamous biker army. Fearing the bikers might discover and jeopardize the secret location of her tribe's hidden Greenland, Furiosa devises a plan to sabotage their vehicles. However, her plan goes awry, and instead of disabling the bikers, Furiosa ends up drawing their attention. In a desperate move, she blows a whistle to signal for help from her mother. Responding swiftly to the distress signal, Furiosa's mother, Mary, along with a skilled female warrior from their tribe, set out on horseback to intercept the bikers. The horses, although swift, cannot compete with the speed of the motorized bikers, forcing the warrior to dismount and shoot down one of the vehicles to slow them down. As the remaining biker attempts to escape, Mary, displaying her formidable combat skills, catches up and dispatches him without hesitation. Mary then orders the warrior to stay behind and safeguard the tribe, while she commandeers the biker's vehicle to rescue Furiosa. With the bikers having a significant head start, Mary relies on her exceptional sharpshooting abilities to whittle down their numbers from a distance. Her precise marksmanship reduces the biker group to just 2 men. Realizing they are being pursued, the surviving bikers hurriedly siphon fuel from their fallen comrade's vehicle and make a frantic dash towards their hideout. After an arduous chase, Mary tracks the bikers to their hideout. As the 2 remaining bikers drag Furiosa closer to their base, Mary's sniping skills come into play once more, taking down another biker. However, the last man manages to reach the headquarters with Furiosa in tow. Just as he is about to present his captive to his leader, Furiosa seizes a moment of opportunity. She leaps from the vehicle, using a rope to hook onto a wheel, causing the biker's death in a swift and brutal manner. This daring act ensures the safety of her tribe's Greenland, keeping its location secret. Furiosa is then brought face to face with the leader of the biker gang, a man named Dementis. Despite his seemingly harmless appearance, Dementis is a ruthless and cold-blooded leader, known for his brutal methods of dealing with dissenters. His ambition knows no bounds as he constantly seeks to expand his territory, with a particular focus on the Greenland. This lush area, with its abundant fresh water and fertile soil ideal for agriculture, is coveted by Dementis as the ultimate prize in his quest for domination. The encounter between Furiosa and Dementis sets the stage for a larger conflict, highlighting the struggle for survival and control in this harsh, unforgiving world. Mary's relentless pursuit and Furiosa's bravery ensure the protection of their homeland. But the threat posed by Dementis and his ambitions looms large, promising more challenges and battles ahead in the fight to preserve their way of life. Dementis tried everything to extract information about Furiosa's homeland, but all his efforts were in vain. Meanwhile, Mary disguised herself to infiltrate Dementis' territory and rescue her daughter. However, her plan was uncovered, and Mary was captured. Tragically, the leader forced Furiosa to witness her mother's execution, as a warning to protect the secret of the Greenland at all costs. After this, Furiosa's life was tied to Dementis. Though she was a prisoner, he treated her fairly well, even wanting to adopt her in hopes that she might one day lead him to the Greenland. However, this kindness couldn't erase the grudge she held for her mother's death. Furiosa discreetly carved a star map on her left arm to find her way back home someday. During a resource hunt on his unique, 3-wheeled vehicle, Dementis captured someone who revealed information about an ancient city ruled by Immortan Joe. This city had everything Dementis desired, a prosperous life with abundant fresh water and thriving agriculture. The leader of the biker army quickly launched an attack on the ancient city, aiming to seize its endless resources. Below the fortress, Dementis boldly declared war, not anticipating the devastating power of Immortan Joe and his fierce army, who were always ready to die for their supreme ruler. Thus began an earth-shattering battle between the 2 mightiest forces in this post-apocalyptic world. Despite their numbers, Dementis' biker army found themselves at a disadvantage. The enemy's elevated position allowed for relentless assaults from above. Joe's fanatics were fearless, willing to blow themselves up to annihilate their foes. Realizing the destructive power of Immortan Joe, Dementis had no choice but to retreat hastily. Furiosa's journey was far from over. In the aftermath of the battle, she found herself alone in a perilous wasteland. determined to find her way back to her tribe and protect the secret of Greenland. However, during his escape, Dementis discovered another nearby stronghold, Gasto, a crucial supplier of large quantities of fuel to the ancient city. The biker army easily ambushed a fuel truck, disguising themselves as war boys and staging a convincing fake battle with the hijacked truck. This deception tricked Gasto's lord into opening the gates to aid what they thought was an ally, unknowingly falling into Dementis' trap. Thus, the biker army effortlessly invaded this stronghold. Leveraging their newfound fuel advantage, Dementis negotiated a peaceful deal with Immortan Joe. He demanded that the ancient city provide food and water, and recognized Dementis' rule over Gasto. In return, the ancient city would continue receiving its fuel supply as usual. During these negotiations, Immortan Joe discovered Furiosa's presence. Despite Dementis' objections, Furiosa chose to stay in the ancient city, even though it came at a high price, growing up to become one of Immortan Joe's wives. In Immortan Joe's vast harem, Furiosa faced new challenges. One of Joe's sons took an interest in her, posing a significant threat. To escape his corruption, she cut her hair, and when he was about to attack her, seized the opportunity to flee into the night. Disguised as a boy, Furiosa joined the ancient city's army, gradually rising through the ranks. Fast forward a decade, and the ancient city has developed Warlord, a super war vehicle equipped with heavy armor and powerful weapons. Designed to dominate the dangerous highways, Jack Flash was chosen to pilot it. During his first mission along the Furiosa highway, Warlord encountered a gang of robbers. These bandits, skilled in high-speed combat, used bizarre but dangerous weapons. Despite unleashing all their firepower, the bandits could not penetrate Warlord's armor from the outside. Changing tactics, they tried to infiltrate and gain control of the vehicle, clinging to Warlord and attempting to board it from all sides. Jack Flash and his battalion of warboys fought fiercely against the relentless assault. The robbers' tenacity and cunning tactics made the battle intense. Furiosa, now a seasoned warrior, saw an opportunity to strike back. She coordinated a counterattack from within Warlord, using her knowledge of the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses to outmaneuver the robbers. Her strategy involved creating diversions and exploiting the robbers' overconfidence, gradually wearing them down. As the battle raged on, Furiosa's leadership and combat skills proved invaluable. She directed the warboys in a series of calculated strikes, turning the tide of the battle. The robbers, realizing they were outmatched, attempted a final desperate push. However, Furiosa anticipated their moves and set a trap, leading to their ultimate defeat. With the robbers vanquished, Furiosa's reputation grew even more formidable. She had not only survived immense personal trials but had also become a key figure in the defense of the ancient city. Her journey, marked by loss, resilience, and determination, continued as she navigated the treacherous world of the post-apocalyptic landscape, always with the memory of her mother and the secret of the Greenland driving her forward. Unexpectedly, one of the robbers encountered Furiosa hiding under the car. She quickly overpowered him, removed his bomb, and crawled to the front of the car. However, a robber's car blocked their way. Furiosa lit the bomb and handed it to a warboy, who used it to sacrifice himself, clearing the path. In the process, she revealed her true identity as a woman to Jack Flash. Together, they fought off the remaining bandits. When the brutal battle ended and only the two of them were left alive, Furiosa pointed a gun at Jack, demanding he take her home. Jack refused but recognized her potential. Instead, he offered to train her to become a captain of the Warlord crew. From that point on, a close bond formed between them as they began to care more deeply for each other. Jack genuinely wanted to escape with Furiosa and return to her homeland. However, before their dream could take root, a crisis struck. The people of Gastown rebelled against Dementis' tyrannical rule. Additionally, the ancient city no longer received an ample supply of fuel, prompting Immortan Joe to declare war on Gasto. The lord of the ancient city ordered Jack Flash and the Warlord crew to gather weapons from the ammunition farm in preparation for the battle. On their mission, Jack instructed Furiosa to stay behind to guard against any surprises. His foresight proved accurate when, as soon as the Warlord entered the ammunition farm, they fell into an ambush. The ambushers were none other than Dementis' army. Realizing they were vastly outnumbered, Jack fired a blue smoke signal for help and drove the Warlord forward to confront the enemy. Furiosa, positioned behind, used her sniper rifle to take out several biker soldiers trailing the Warlord, freeing Jack from immediate danger. She then turned her sights on Dementis, shooting any enemy who dared expose themselves. Dementis, however, was no slouch. He used one of his subordinates as a human shield and fired a grenade launcher at Furiosa. Seeing her in danger, Jack accelerated the Weret, crashing into the base of the tower, forcing Dementis to leap onto a metal bridge. However, the Weret became entangled in the crane, slowly sliding toward the nearby abyss. Despite her injuries, Furiosa, seeing Jack in peril, rushed to his rescue. She fought her way to the crane, determined to free Weret and save Jack. The chaotic scene was filled with explosions and gunfire, as the remnants of Dementis' army tried to take them down. Furiosa, using her combat skills and quick thinking, managed to release the Weret from the crane's grip just in time. The vehicle teetered on the edge, but eventually stabilized. Jack aimed and managed to shoot one of them, but the return fire was intense, forcing him to retreat. Dementis' powerful off-road vehicle soon caught up with them. Jack tried to fend off the attackers, but was severely wounded by gunfire. But when she aimed at Dementis, he crushed her hand under his vehicle's wheel. He then maneuvered his vehicle onto the back of the V8, flipping it over and causing it to roll twice before landing upside down. The battle was over. The bikers arrived and dragged the two from the wreckage. Dementis chained Furiosa's crushed arm to a metal shackle. Meanwhile, Jack Flash faced an even worse fate. He was tortured to the brink of exhaustion and then thrown to Dementis' vicious pets. By the end of the day, they discovered in horror that Furiosa had escaped by sacrificing her arm. At this point, all hope within her was extinguished. She had witnessed yet another loved one brutally murdered, and the arm tattooed with the map to her homeland was gone. With no other choice, she returned to the ancient city. She reported that Dementis had taken over the ammunition farm and intended to wage war against Immortan Joe and Gasto. This triggered another 40-day battle between the two powerful factions, ending much like the previous encounter, with nearly all of Dementis' forces annihilated. During this time, Furiosa equipped herself with a metal arm and closely monitored the progress of the battle. When she saw Dementis and his remaining forces fleeing, she decided to go after them alone. Realizing that someone was pursuing him, Dementis ordered his men to disperse in all directions. Not knowing who to follow, Furiosa decided to chase the leading car. She quickly caught up and discovered it was a decoy. Not wasting any time, Furiosa turned back to continue his hunt. At the top of the hill, she aimed and shot down one of his loyal guards. This confirmed that the remaining car belonged to Dementis. When his fuel ran out, he had no choice but to flee in desperation. All the pain and rage that Furiosa had endured over the years was unleashed on her mortal enemy. Instead of killing him on the spot, she dragged him back to the Citadel. There, she used Dementis' body as fertilizer to feed the plants. It was perhaps the most fitting brutal revenge for her ruthless enemy. His remaining existence will now contribute to creating a flourishing future in this desolate world. And that's the end of the movie. Thanks for watching until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel.